what's up, everybody? This is Brendan Hauser with EVOQ Bike. So I had some questions from people about the polarized training, 10 hours a week. And somebody said, Brendan, 10 hours is a luxury. What are you talking about? That is not low volume. And so I had a few people ask, no, seriously, what would you do if you had 6 hours to train? What would you work on? And this is where a lot of athletes fall into the trap of sweet spot. It's, hey, I can do a lot of time at this. I don't have much time. All these things online are marketing to time-crunched athletes, ride sweet spot. I truly believe that is not the road to go. I have nothing to sell you here. Do what you want. This is a question that came to me. These are the things that I would focus on. I tried to pick 4 things for low-volume training. Number 1, increase your FTP, or we could call it increase your lactate threshold. We'll talk about that. The cliff notes, I would highly recommend you try some over-unders. Number 2, definitely increase your VO2 max. You can definitely do this on a 6-hour-a-week training budget. Reduce your lactate production, which is a huge thing that you accomplish by riding endurance. I know people are thinking, but I only have 6 hours. Why would I waste my time riding endurance? Please go watch the Why Ride Endurance video. You don't have to just listen to me talking about this. Inigo San Milan, Tom Bell, there's a ton of coaches out there that talk about endurance training. That will take you farther than sweet spot. I know it sounds crazy. I did not believe that either many moons ago. And I'm really glad my coaches continue to drill in, do the long ride. And if you can't do the long ride, do the 90-minute ride and do it at zone 2. And then number 4, which is kind of a wild card, I would say strength work, because 2 of the athletes that messaged me, and one guy put it in the comments, the last video, he said, I got to sneak my strength workout in. And that's why I put this on here, because strength is a lot of things that you can just sneak in there. You can get up 30 minutes earlier and bang out the strength work with some kettlebells. Or I live in a condo here where they have a gym downstairs. I can definitely get something accomplished in 20 minutes. So even if you have a low budget, I'm going to throw this out there and say, don't even include that in the 6 hours. Can you make it 6:20? And then that is another thing. Can you make it 7 hours? Just start looking for ways to tack on minutes here. It all matters, I promise. So I've never received an email saying, hey, I started riding easier and focusing on the harder workouts like VO2 max and proper lactate threshold training and got slower. But I have received hundreds of emails that say, hey, I kind of got suckered into the sweet spot thing. Now I'm burnt out, or now I've plateaued, or now I've seen my VO2 max reduce, or now I'm not ready for races. I just got thrown out the back. What's going on? This is not a bash sweet spot. It's just that I don't think it is worth your time when you have 6 hours to train. So why train VO2 max and endurance? Both of these will reduce the lactate production and improve lactate clearance. So those are 2 very important things in cycling. Both of these will help you become an aerobic athlete, which is massive for endurance sports, which is cycling. Lactate threshold, over-unders. Really what we're talking about, we've said this a million times, is how much lactate do you produce minus how much can you clear, is where you at before that thing on your back is like, hey man, you got to go under threshold because you need to recover. In order to improve your lactate threshold, it's been shown that sweet spot does not necessarily increase your lactate threshold. It does not work on the clearance side of things, and it does not help you reduce the amount of lactate that you produce. Over-unders are an amazing workout because you're riding above threshold and then clearing lactate below threshold, around 80 to 90% FTP, maybe a little bit below or a little bit under that when you first start. But these really will make you faster. You will feel more comfortable not only riding above threshold, but definitely at threshold when you're in a race. Why not ride at tempo and threshold directly, like constant steady state intervals? Well, why would we? Tempo, we know, can help us increase muscular strength, muscular endurance. If you do them at low cadence, it can help to recruit some of the muscle fibers, theoretically, that are only called on to work when we're late in a long endurance ride, which if you're on 6 hours, you don't really have time for those. The reason I wouldn't prescribe them is you just can't do everything. We got 6 hours. So it's like we need to squeeze the most juice out of these workouts as possible. Same thing with threshold. If you're going to ride constant power threshold, I truly think you're going to be better off riding the over-unders, and then you're still going to get some threshold training because you're probably going to do some testing at some point. You're going to do a 20-minute effort. You're going to be out one day and you're going to be on a climb and say, I feel really good. We've talked about this before on another video. Screw the workout. I'm going to go crush this KOM, or I'm going to go do this 20-minute effort. I feel amazing. Like, you're going to get that riding in. I don't think you need to schedule it. I would really more focus on the scheduled workouts. And there is a myriad of ways that you can train VO2 max and your lactate threshold with so many different workouts that I think you want to find the 6 to 8 that work for you, get those dialed in, and then as some get stale, rotate them out with different ones. They're phenomenal. And again, I don't want to be poo-pooing on steady state threshold. I'm not saying that those are bad. They're just not as good as other things. I came up training for years doing steady state. It's just what we knew. It's what coaches were telling me to do. It's what everyone was talking about. 2x20s were like the magical thing. We've learned stuff. That's on this channel. If this is the first video you've ever seen, it is 2023 right now. You might see me, and probably will see me, talking about a different strategy in 2025 because we're continuing to grow and learn. Endurance sports are so young, especially training with power. So that's the exciting thing about this journey. There's still ways to get better with your training, no matter how long you've been training for. And then it is really important for us to always remember that if we are training at these higher intensities, we are undergoing glycolysis for energy production, and that's why it's important to have the regular endurance rides mixed in there also. If you're only doing VO2 max and you're doing a lactate threshold workout and you're like, well, I want to do some sweet spot too and some tempo, you're not working out fat oxidation and you are missing a big gain for endurance sports like cycling. So get your endurance rides in there. I would have 2 hard sessions a week. I would do, let's say Tuesday and Thursday, and then Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday they're all 1 hour rides, but you only have 6 hours. Or you could try to throw in a long ride, maybe do a 3-hour ride, and then the other 3 rides during the week are just 1 hour. And so you're only riding 4 days that week, but you got a long ride in. We got to try and balance these as best as we can. 6 hours isn't a ton, but you can get a lot accomplished. You just have to be focused. And sometimes people say, why would I get a training buddy that you talk about? I don't have that much time. Exactly. You need somebody to talk to about your training. I'm not pushing coaching on you. Get somebody that's doing the same thing as you, work together, map out what are your strengths, weaknesses, do a SWOT together, and then lay out your plan. Show it to him. She lays out her plan. She shows it to you. Coordinate with somebody, okay? I know you can get faster. You don't need to ride as much as I'm riding. That is another email I get. Hey, I can't ride as much. Don't ride. I'm not riding only for training. Trust me. That's a video in itself. If you follow me on Instagram, you can put some of those pieces together. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate it. We hit 4K. Let's get 5K. Let's just keep going. Let a friend know about the channel. And if you're listening on Spotify, if some of these people don't watch YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Thank you guys for all that you do. Hopefully this helps you get faster. Don't freak out if you only have 6 hours. Hopefully down the road you can get 7 and 8. Do the math on what percentage increase in training going from 6 to 7 hours or 7 to 8 hours is. It's crazy. Good luck. Let's get it.